What if humans never felt fear? A child reaches toward a glowing orange flame. The fire crackles softly. Its warmth feels inviting. The colors dance with hypnotic beauty. There is no hesitation, no instinct to pull the hand away, only curiosity. The skin touches the flame. For a brief moment, nothing changes. Then the smell of burning flesh quietly enters the air. Fear never arrives, only pain. And by then, it is already too late. Most people think fear exists to make life miserable, that it is the reason we freeze before speaking, lose sleep before difficult decisions, or hesitate when opportunity stands directly in front of us. But that is not what fear was designed to do. Long before it became the emotion that keeps people awake at night, fear was something else entirely. It was a survival technology. Invisible, ancient, relentlessly efficient. And without it, humanity might never have survived long enough to invent civilization. Nearly every living creature on Earth carries a silent calculation beneath its awareness. A deer lifting its head in an open meadow. A bird pausing between songs. A fish changing direction before a predator is even visible. Life is constantly asking one question: am I safe? The remarkable part is not that animals answer this question. It is how quickly they answer it. Long before conscious thought forms, the nervous system has already decided whether to run, fight, hide, or remain still. Researchers studying the brain noticed something remarkable. Signals associated with danger often reach the amygdala before the conscious mind fully understands what has been seen. In other words, fear can begin before reality becomes conscious. Your awareness is not always the first observer of your world. Something older is watching first. Imagine that ancient system disappearing overnight. You wake up exactly as you are today. Your memories remain. Your intelligence remains. Your personality remains. Only one thing has vanished: fear. At first, it feels like freedom. The alarm clock rings. You leap from bed without worrying about the day ahead. Public speaking becomes effortless. Heights lose their grip over your stomach. Dark rooms become ordinary rooms. No anxiety before interviews. No panic during turbulence. No hesitation before difficult conversations. It sounds almost perfect. For perhaps one day. In 1994, neurologists documented something deeply unusual. A woman known in scientific literature simply as SM had suffered rare damage to both sides of her amygdala. The result was extraordinary. She experienced almost no fear. Researchers exposed her to venomous snakes. She reached toward them. She walked through abandoned buildings alone. She willingly approached people most would instinctively avoid. Even horror films failed to provoke the reaction scientists expected. For years, many imagined this was what true courage looked like. Then a disturbing pattern emerged. SM had been threatened, assaulted, manipulated, and placed in dangerous situations far more often than most people. Not because she lacked intelligence, because danger never felt dangerous. The emotion everyone wished they could eliminate had been quietly protecting them all along. Fear does something that logic cannot. Logic asks whether something is dangerous. Fear decides before logic finishes the sentence. Evolution never cared about perfect reasoning. It cared about survival. A false alarm costs energy. A missed predator costs everything. So natural selection accepted millions of unnecessary moments of fear because the alternative was extinction. Your racing heartbeat, your sweating hands, the uneasy feeling while walking alone at night. These are not flaws. They are expensive insurance policies purchased by millions of generations who did not survive long enough to complain about them. Now expand the thought experiment. Imagine an entire species without fear. The first hunters charge directly toward mammoths. Some succeed. Most never return. Children climb cliffs because falling carries no emotional meaning. People swim into unfamiliar rivers where crocodiles wait beneath still water. Parents never instinctively pull a child away from danger. Cities begin to form. Yet accidents multiply beyond anything civilization has ever known. Roads become fields of collision. Factories become machines of constant injury. Medical systems collapse beneath preventable disasters. Not because humans became reckless, Because recklessness no longer feels different from confidence. Civilizations are often remembered through their greatest achievements: the pyramids, the Great Wall, spacecraft crossing the solar system. But hidden beneath every remarkable accomplishment lies something less celebrated: restraint. Every bridge required engineers who imagined collapse before construction. Every medicine required scientists terrified of being wrong. Every aircraft exists because someone feared gravity enough to respect it. Progress has always depended upon caution, not despite fear. Because of it, many people believe bravery means feeling no fear. History suggests something else. Firefighters enter burning buildings while afraid. Explorers cross frozen oceans while afraid. Astronauts leave Earth while afraid. The absence of fear is not courage. It is neurological impairment. Courage is something infinitely more difficult. It is allowing fear to speak, without allowing it to make the final decision. There is another consequence, one far less obvious. Without fear, there is no anticipation of loss. Without anticipation of loss, attachment changes. Parents become less protective. Friendships become less fragile. Love itself becomes different. Because every meaningful relationship carries a quiet awareness that it can disappear. Fear of loss is woven into affection. Remove one, and the other begins to unravel. Psychologists often describe fear as one of humanity's most unpleasant emotions. Evolution tells a more complicated story. Fear sharpened perception. It taught memory. It shaped culture. Entire moral systems emerged because humans feared consequences. Religions reflected fear of chaos. Laws reflected fear of violence. Architecture reflected fear of nature. Economies reflected fear of scarcity. Even stories told around ancient fires often carried hidden warnings disguised as myths. Civilizations are not simply monuments to ambition. They are monuments to collective fear. Perhaps the strangest truth is that fear does not only protect individuals, it protects the future. Every cautious parent, every hesitant scientist, every pilot who aborts a risky landing, every engineer who delays a launch because something feels wrong. History rarely celebrates disasters that never happened, yet civilization quietly depends upon them. The greatest victories often leave no evidence because catastrophe never arrived. But fear has another side. The same system that once protected us from lions now reacts to emails, performance reviews, social rejection, imagined futures. The ancient brain cannot always distinguish between physical danger and psychological uncertainty. A predator once waited behind tall grass. Today, it often waits inside thought itself. The machinery remained. Only the environment changed. So perhaps the question was never, what if humans never felt fear? Perhaps the deeper question is, what kind of intelligence is fear trying to become? Because beneath every accelerated heartbeat, beneath every instinct to step back from the edge, beneath every uneasy feeling that something isn't quite right, lies a message written by billions of years of survival. Not every fear deserves obedience. Many deserve challenge. Some deserve dismissal. But none deserve contempt. For the emotion we spend our lives trying to silence may be one of the oldest voices evolution ever gave us. And perhaps the greatest illusion is believing that fear stands opposite to freedom. It does not. Freedom has never meant living without fear. It has meant carrying something ancient, invisible, and imperfect, and choosing, despite it, which direction to walk. Because if fear vanished tomorrow, humanity might feel liberated for a moment. But by the time we realized what had truly disappeared, there might be no one left to be afraid.